Dorothy, take us into the changing room after that win Saturday. What was it like?
Yeah, it was just a lot of happiness and relief, and I suppose it had been a few seasons since we'd felt that after a Six Nations game, and to do it at home, in Munster with the crowd so close. Like, Musgrave's a very personal pitch. It was great. Like, my parents, my grandmother was there. I got to see her after. All the kids, everything. It was just it was a really ideal day. Just very happy after it.
I know everyone says it, but is that really what it is all about? Your family and seeing your grandmother there with big smiles on her face?
Yeah, it has to be. Like, you play a crazy game and it brings you to dark places and great lengths of what you think you're able to, and sometimes you can't rely on yourself and what it means to you. It's about what it means to the people who you love and support you as well. So it's a massive factor in why we all play.
You're still young, 23 maybe if I'm right, but
yeah.
You talked about the dark days. Was there a while you were like, not are we ever going to win again, but when is this going to happen and how?
There definitely needed to be changes. Scott and the coaching staff we have were the change we needed. There's a whole new emphasis on culture and what it is to be high performance and to play for your country and how to navigate these high pressure moments. So that kind of mental side of the game combined with like the actual tactical, skillful side of the game with like our new coaching setup is really what brought that win to fruition against Wales.
You've captained in the Celtic Challenge. Has that helped you in sort of the leadership even at such a young age?
Yeah, like I think we obviously have designated leaders on our team. Adele McMahon, Sam are our co-captains, and they're excellent, like the way they work off each other and how they bounce off each other. And Sean Ryan is our new head of culture and high performance, and how he's helped with the leadership and making it like an open channel of communication, and how like what structures are in place is really excellent. And I suppose leadership can be seen in how you play on the pitch and what you contribute, and you don't always need to be speaking, but listening is a great skill too, and doing your job and taking ownership of that. So like really there's 15 leaders on the pitch when we go out against an international side.
Scott last week talked all about the process and the win will come. You got the win, but I suppose as a player, what pleased you most against Wales about that process?
Feeling like we were in control of the game. It had been a while since the last campaign. It felt like we were chasing our tails, conceding penalties, not exiting, not getting not dominating collisions, not making gain line. It's a very hard game to play when you're on the back foot of consistent penalties, set piece wasn't going right, and just losing momentum. Like, we talk about momentum a lot and how to keep it, and also how to stop other teams playing with it. So knowing that we had momentum and keeping the foot on the throat was massive at the weekend, just to feel that again. That was it for me.
And can you feel that during the game, 10, 20, 30 minutes in? Do you know, like, even in small huddles, are you like, come on, we've got this, keep going?
Yeah, we've got there's very process-driven ways of how we speak in huddles and who speaks and what our message is and how we kill momentum and how we create momentum. But after half-time, I'm sure they would have had a big talk about what they're going to do to us next, their game plan. And then Katie Corrigan gets a block-down try. That zaps their momentum straight away. So that was a huge turning point in the second half as well. Like, moments like those are massive.
A big sort of moment or process throughout the game was the line-out defence I felt with Adele and Sam.
Yeah. Hey, don't forget me. I was the pivot lifter.
I was getting there.
I'm only joking.
But you're not, which I like. It'll obviously say you're watching footage, but that was obviously a target. But also, how do you get that right in that split second? How do you know that their jumper, calendar, whoever it is going to get the ball and you're going to have to stop it?
It's something I've learned about the last few weeks, and Sam has kind of talked to me a lot about. The first game against France, we definitely weren't as clear on our defensive roles and what defensive system we were trying to achieve, and I think the more we analysed it, the more we worked together. I got some great tips from Sam in that area around, like, it's a numbers game. If you see if it's a 5-man, you see 2 go to the front, 2 go to the back, 3 at the front. You can't lift with 2 people, so like it's a counting game too. A lot of it is comms from your jumpers as well when the ball's in, like kind of small details like that. But I wouldn't say I'm not the finished product in that area, but I've definitely benefited from other people's kind of input on that.
Another area which you've done over the last year is carry ball.
Mm.
Do you feel this year, would it be fair to say you're more effective in your carry, or you're trying to be more effective other than when to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I tried to develop into a player that had a passing game as well. So it's really important against, you know, a big kind of physical teams like Wales and England that you move the point of contact. So that's something I really tried to hone in on too. But yeah, definitely, like, everyone wants to be a better carrier, and it's been on my mind for a while. So I think that it grows with confidence too. Like, I wouldn't say any of our confidence was particularly high after the last 2 years, and when you get confidence and momentum and you see results, it just kind of keeps coming up and up and up, and that's what I felt.
And does Scott really help in that, when to carry it or when to tip it on and move, or is that a feel right there, right then on the pitch?
It's a feel, but also it's a tactical thing too of what we want to do. So game to game, the message differs of when it's like how wide do we want to get off an edge ruck, and when do we want to tip it into a different space, when do we want to truck it up. You know, it's tactical too.
I suppose everyone's talking about her, and why not Aoife Wafer?
Yeah.
Are you surprised of how good she has been already, or not?
No, absolutely not surprised. She's had it very difficult with injury and everything, and she's a fantastic player. She's built different. We don't know where she gets her engine or her you know, step, dummy, speed, opportunity. She's a great player to have on your team. Very glad I'm not playing against her.
Moving on to this weekend, England, you know how difficult it's going to be. A record crowd, or it looks to be a record crowd. How much are you looking forward to it, to say the obvious question?
Massively. Like, it's a really cool opportunity. I don't know how I think there's like 45,000 tickets sold now. Like, it's kind of it's a huge opportunity, Twickenham, with that type of a crowd. Definitely a feeling of excitement of what we can do against them. And look, they're obviously an incredibly good team, and we've made great strides too, but I'm very excited for the challenge this weekend.
How do you practice back here, say, with that noise or environment, or have you done anything different?
Yeah. Sean Ryan has had speakers like the week of...
is that music, or is that
no.
atmosphere? What is it?
The week of France, we would have had the French national anthem playing the whole time. This week, the God Save the King has been playing a bit, and a lot of noise when we're doing set piece and stuff like that, because it's going to be very loud. So yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're doing.
Because everyone knows they are so good in inverted commas, how important is it, or have you just looked at yourselves as well?
Oh, you have to look at them, and you also have to look at yourselves too, obviously, and see how tactically you can best approach whatever weapons they have and attempt to weaponise their super strength. So it's all a game of chess, really, and we'll see how it goes.
Maud Moore, Hannah Botterman, Marley Packer, I could name them all. How do you try and prevent them getting game line? Is it as easy as just tackling, or a quick up off the line?
I suppose it's how you attack it, how you take away their space. We're definitely a chop bang team, so that's going to be like one in low, one in high, stop them making the gain line. We have to front up. We know that they're a physical big side, like they're known for it, but we're aggressive, and hopefully we can see the lengths that Declan Danaher has taken in terms of defence. Like, it's huge to have him in, and the way he coaches us and the time he gives to each individual person has given me so much confidence in defence, and I know so many other girls too. He's a huge catalyst for how we're defending. What's he given you in the month or two he's been here most? Detail. Like, has clips for every single one of us of, you know, okay, you did okay there, how can you maximise what you're doing there? You missed a trick here, this is why. We'll talk to this other person here, we're going to figure it out, there's the solution, now we implement it. In training, he's always behind the defensive line talking to all of us. Dara, what are you doing here? Should you be folding? Like, it's a constant, like, just trying to get us into the right mental area, to get us into the right physical area, to then dominate collisions. He's really important. And what about with the ball against Wales? You went wide to wide and kept the ball in play, and happy to go from right to left. Against England, they will be quicker up when they go to tackle you. How do you sort of try and avoid that, or which way do you see your game plan going with the ball? Yeah, I wouldn't have said we just went from right to left. Our kicking game was a huge thing for us, getting us into the right areas of the park so we can play in the right areas of the park and keep them out of the areas we didn't want them to be in. There'll be a big emphasis on, you know, changing the point of contact, how quickly we can get to our rucks, speed of ruck, things like that would be very important to be able to attack against them.
And finally, what do you see outside of the result? What do you see as a success at the weekend?
What do I see as a success? If we can implement our attacking game, if we can make great strides in the defensive system that's already kind of here, if we can push it on here, we want to score points. We want points on the table of the actual Six Nations. Yeah, I'd like us to implement what we're trying to do in a successful way.
Dorothy, thanks and all the best.
Thank you very much. Cheers.